Good evening, YouTube. Matt M. Roy back once again. Back to you with a Q&A live stream. Figured most of us, probably at this point, are stuck in the house and probably looking for something to do. So let's go ahead and delve right in. Wow, that counter's all over the place. 7 watchers, 2 watchers, 4 watchers. Wow. I'm going to start this one off by reading a few comments that were left on the vlog that I actually uploaded today. What will we do to stay healthy? Sunsets at Shaboom says, digging the mustache. Thank you. If you're watching, I am too, though I think I might shave it and let it grow in a little bit more because, fun fact, when you have a mustache and you want to grow in more full, more boldly, then you shave it, and the more you do that, the faster it'll grow. Andrew Mallory also asks, hey Matt, can you maybe tell me why my vehicle makes a rattling sound when I start it up? Also, when I accelerate the gas pedal, it does it too. Now, I'm not an automotive expert by any stretch of the imagination, but oddly enough, my Buick LeSabre does the same thing, and it's an issue with the cover or the heat shield on the catalytic converter. Now, generally, you can basically pound that back down so it doesn't rattle against it, but I would probably just leave it alone. The only other thing that I could think of it could be is maybe the starter is not disengaging properly after it starts the vehicle. That's a little bit more serious, but either way, you're probably going to want to have a mechanic check that out. Danny K said the stash is looking good. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know why it doesn't grow in the middle there. It's really wispy on this side, and this side there's like nothing done in the middle there. Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Y tú? Eric's Variety Channel coming us with a little Spanish tonight. Hola, ¿cómo está? Yeah, doing just fine, Eric. ¿Y tú? ¿Y tú? I am so tired tonight, folks. The really good thing, if there is anything good about this whole crisis that we're going through, is people are working at home. And I've been able to really kill it with the computer sales. As a matter of fact, I sold 3 systems today. I only have 2 left. So I'm actively sourcing more computer equipment right now. So I feel totally blessed, everybody. And we got to take the lemons that life is giving us right now. We got to make lemonade because it's about the only thing we can do. Somebody asked me on a vlog the other day, what have I been taking at night to help me sleep? Because I do suffer from occasional bouts of insomnia. Well, this is what I've been taking recently. It's Spring Valley melatonin. If my camera will focus on it, I don't know if it will. 10 milligrams. You can get this at Walmart. Oh, it's better that way. Spring Valley melatonin, 10 milligrams. Matter of fact, I need to take mine right now. You want to start with one of these because they are really strong, but I'm up to 2. I usually just take 2. And they're not chewables. They dissolve right in your mouth, and they're a natural way to help you sleep at night. Eric goes, I'm just watching a Boosted Boys video, finishing up with a custom turbo manifold on the K-Swap Odyssey minivan. I think I saw the first of the videos of that. You would think with us being pretty much shut-ins that we would have more time to watch YouTube content, but Mom and I are really trying to get out. Matter of fact, I had a doctor's appointment earlier today. It was still on, so we took that opportunity to bike ride over there. Mom waited for me outside. She didn't want to go into the waiting room, understandably so. And then we took a nice long bike ride after that. We had to do some grocery shopping anyway. That's one thing that a lot of people are getting confused with social isolation versus, social distancing versus like quarantining or social isolation. Right now, in my area, we are practicing social distancing, which means that we're staying about 10 feet away from each other. but we are not in a quarantine situation here. In Southern Virginia, where I live, Hampton Roads, it hasn't gotten that bad yet. Now, to say it won't, I'm not sure because they're getting more and more cases each week. So we're just got to see what happens. So for now, we can go out in public, but we need to distance ourselves. In our areas, the restaurants are closed except for takeout. Like you can't dine in, but you can go in there and pick up your food. But they do recommend you use something like Grubhub, Uber Eats, or something like that. It's just a little bit safer. I-386, I've been feeling the quarantine is going to be extended. A lot of people will be upset because of going to church on Easter. Yeah, it's really going to affect that this year. Really, you can still celebrate Easter at home. It will be different. It will be. And I remember as a kid, getting the Easter basket and chowing down on all my Easter candy, probably half of it before I went to church. That's how I wound up getting so heavy, or at least part of it. But honestly, you can still celebrate it. It's the emotion, it's the representation of Jesus' sacrifice on the cross for us. It's nice we can go to church, but there are other ways to celebrate it. Celebrate it with your friends, celebrate it with your family. So if you're with your friends, make sure you're 10 feet away. Jeff's asking, am I running the latest Windows update? I am on this computer, and so far so good. I haven't had any issues. You should be good. As far as I know, the latest, I'm not going to call it a feature update because it really isn't, but the latest cumulative update that Windows put out, it's running perfectly fine. I haven't had any issues at all. Tomato soup and grilled cheese, Tyler says. I like some grilled cheese. I'm not a big tomato soup fan. I know my mother swears by Campbell's tomato soup. I don't know. If I do make tomato soup, it has to be homemade. I am like a homemade soup fanatic. I love homemade tomato soup, homemade 15 bean soup. I just can't do the canned stuff. I've tried. It's just not my thing. I'm watching a video here Craigslist Hunter put out. Very interesting. What essential businesses are open? It seemed a lot of people didn't like it, but I kind of found it fascinating because where he is in the suburbs of Chicago, they are in a technically quarantine situation except for essential businesses. And he's seeing some businesses there that are open that probably shouldn't be open. One being a nail salon. I mean, come on, folks. We don't need to get our nails done. It's not an essential. It's not an essential business. I'm sorry, no ifs, ands, or buts. No matter how you look at that. I dip my grilled cheese in my soup, so you would not like that. Oh, I would try it. I mean, I'm not against it. I just, like I said, I'd have to make my own homemade tomato soup. If I did that, had some grilled cheese, dipped it in there. Another reason I don't do a lot of grilled cheese is I like my grilled cheese the bad way with American cheese and on fatty white bread. But I guess I could do a little bit healthier option. I could probably choose something like a rye bread or maybe like a Asiago ciabatta bun, and maybe use cheddar cheese and Gouda cheese instead of the American cheese. I have to give it a try. That's interesting, Tyler. Yes, Mark, I do like cream of mushroom soup. As a matter of fact, I don't usually eat it plain, like just as cream of mushroom soup, but my mother has a really good recipe for chicken divan, which is basically just chicken breasts, a bunch of different types of cheeses. I think mozzarella cheese, Swiss cheese, and use cream of mushroom soup and cream of chicken soup in it, and you actually bake it in the oven. It's really, really good. I don't know the exact recipe that she uses, but if I get a chance to, I'll film her making it one day. When life hands you lemons, make orange juice and let people figure out how you did it. Funny man, funny man. I like it either way though. I have a friend, a childhood friend that can actually drink lemon juice straight. I mean, how many people out there do you know that can drink lemon juice straight? Chris, if you're watching this, you know who you are, and I can't believe you can do that, man. That's crazy. Stephen Barber, hey man, I'm on my new laptop. Feels like a MacBook Pro, almost best blank 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 computer I've owned. Thanks HP for making a good computer. I hope they're making them better because when I worked at Best Buy in the late 2000s, man, they were garbage. Oh, sorry, my leg fell asleep. I gotta rearrange myself here a little bit. Looks like a few people, I386 and William McCullough, like straight lemon juice. I don't know if I could do it. I might have to put a little bit of sugar in it to make it edible for me. Have you had any problems with your Fitbit? Not to my recollection. I have the Fitbit Versa Lite, this one right here. It's actually doing really well. It's a little on the slow side. From what I understand, the Fitbit Versa Lite versus the regular Versa just doesn't have quite as much memory. So scrolling through the menus, it can be a little slow at times. Like if I go up to check the battery life and I go to check the walking, see how long it took to go to that screen. But other than that, it seems to be fine. I haven't done any firmware updates on that yet either. Rick Legs, don't think I could stomach straight lemon juice. Yeah, by the way, folks, I know we're talking about this. If you are to try that, please have something else on your stomach first. Because if you were to just drink straight lemon juice, I can almost guarantee you a really bad night in the John, if you know what I mean. I'd go for it. These are great. I paid $100 for this Fitbit on Black Friday, and it works really well. I mean, I really don't have any complaints. Yeah, if that's got the Intel Optane SSD in it, those are solid. I mean, those are like almost life of the computer long drives. Linus's Tech Tips actually did a video on that few months ago, and he was really impressed because it takes a lot to impress him. And he said that Optane memory was really, really solidly built. I think it has DRAM cache too, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, excuse me, everybody. I gotta take another sip of water here. I'm not getting the coronavirus, I promise. My mouth is dry. Eric's getting into spicy food, but it messed his stomach up. Ooh. Depends on how spicy it is. I know I can handle medium spicy, but if it's like super, super spicy, I have to pass. Do you still use your setup machine? Are you referring to if you're referring to my backup rig, that's actually sitting right over there. It's getting to the point though right now where I may wind up having to sell some of those computers. I'm really low on product right now. I'm actively talking with that seller that I got the last pallet of computers from, hoping to be able to get another pallet. I'm crossing my fingers here because nobody's really conducting business right now, to be honest with you. It's really crazy. Thank you, Mark, for $2 super chat. You didn't have to do that, man. I really appreciate that. Oh, man, I could tell you one thing I'm doing downstairs right now. Send me your questions, but in between that, I did want to let you guys know that during these times where our immune systems may not be the best, you want to get in your fruits and vegetables. I kid you not, I eat a bowl of oatmeal in the morning with mangoes, strawberries, and blueberries fresh. And then what I'm doing right now is I actually have a crock pot going with cabbage that I cut up. And I'm going to let that cook overnight. I season it with like Lowry's seasoning salt, some spike, garlic, and a few other things. And I let that cook overnight. And what it does is it actually bakes itself or boils itself is a better term into the cabbage, and I'll eat that with lunches, dinners, no matter what. Like I'll have that cabbage with a sandwich. And the whole point of this is the fruits and the vegetables are going to help you maintain your immunity, basically. And you really should get the 9 servings of fruits and vegetables all the time, but during these tough times on our bodies when we're dealing with things like COVID-19, it's even more important. There goes, a spicy chicken sandwich with a lot of pepper jack cheese. It had a strong kick, but not too crazy, but I wasn't as ready for it as I thought I was. Pepper jack cheese is really good. I would guess it was probably the chicken that did it to you. I've noticed that a lot of people cannot handle those spicy chickens, especially like the one from Popeyes. If you ever had their spicy fried chicken, and it's not the one that's like, it's the boneless ones that they put on there and they use that habanero pepper. No, I can't handle that either. Hmm. Apparently, the latest update for Windows 10 only has to do with printing and sharing. Interesting. I'm glad you said that because I actually did update, but I haven't tried my network printers yet. Thank you for reminding me. I have to give that a try tomorrow. WW Souls, here's an interesting question. Which historical president would you choose to be in charge of the country right now? I'll think about that one for a minute. Honestly, I would probably have to choose Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, and here's why. When you think of everything he had to deal with during the what was it, the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, he had to deal with freeing the slaves. I mean, the country was in shambles at that point. We had the war with the North, the war with the South, and he was able to bring the entire country together. Eventually, a lot of it happened after his death, but I think he would do a great job for the country right now. That being said, I think that the current administration is actually doing a very good job, all things considered, right now. Matt, do you use the cloud for transferring anything from one computer to another? Very, very rarely. The only time I ever use the cloud, I do have a OneDrive account and a Google Drive account. And if I'm traveling and I'm in upstate New York and I want to access something that I had on my home computer, then sometimes I'll upload that before I leave. That way I can access it later on. But very, very seldom. Usually I work offline. It's a good point. FDR, because he went through the Great Depression. But you do have to remember, he also started the New Deal, which started the Social Security Administration and the welfare state. Depending on how you feel about that, he may or may not be a great choice. I'll tell you this much right now. If he was still president, we would have already had that stimulus money sent out to us. And I don't know about you guys, but I could use an extra $1,200 right now. Putting on some of this. Another thing I'm going to interject here for a minute, to keep your skin healthy is very important right now. That's how the viruses can get in through cracks in the skin, the mouth, what have you. So I'm using some of this replenishing after the sun gel that you get from Walgreens. It's got aloe vera in it, and I pretty much lather myself up. I'll lather my arms up, my face up at night. And it really helps your skin from drying out, because I don't know about where you guys are, but it is really still cold here at times. And you have the forced air heat in the house that will dry your skin out very, very quickly. Should I keep a bunch of Apple devices? If you like apples, that's fine. Me, not so much. It's a good point. FDR definitely helped people out with disabilities. And I'm not saying that what he did was good or bad. I'm not really qualified to judge that, but I will say that if he didn't enact the New Deal, which was basically starting Social Security, the welfare state, I think it would be a very different country from what we have today. Whether or not that country would be better or worse for that decision, I don't know. You'll have to come up with your own conclusion on that. Looks like we have a dilemma here about the iPhone versus the S9. I386 liked the iPhone better. Um, here's the thing about Apple: you either love Apple or you hate Apple. I've found like no in betweens. Like you're not going to find somebody that loves a PC and also loves the Mac. They may own a PC and a Mac, but they're going to love one and hate the other. It's just love-hate relationship. That's just the way it is. That being said, I do know people out there that both like the Apple iPhone and the Android. Me personally, I have nothing against the Apple devices. So the iPhones, I think they're excellent. In many ways, they are superior to Android devices, but I just prefer the Android interface, mainly because the phones cost less on average, and they're just more scalable. You can do more mods, you can do more customizations. When I say more, you actually pretty much can't mod iPhones at all. I mean, pretty much the interface you get is what you get. Lost Computers likes Windows and Android. I386 likes the iPhone 7 and 8. I honestly have not kept up with the iPhones. So if you're talking specific iPhones, anything past the iPhone 5 or 6, I don't know a lot about them. I do know that the iPhone 11, the new iPhone 11 or the 11.1, has a far superior camera to most Android devices. As a matter of fact, they boast you can do it in almost pitch black. You'd be able to record almost like infrared. By the way, we're going to end this here at 30 minutes, folks, because I got up really early this morning, and I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but my eyes are really bloodshot right now. I know that's my excuse all the time, but it really isn't, because I'm just overdoing it. I need to take a break. Like, I need a day where I just lay in bed and veg and do nothing. Wouldn't that be nice, folks? Yeah, I don't know if it's ever going to happen. Love the LG Stylo 5 Plus. WW Souls, I was just thinking earlier, if you had taken the job in New York, it probably wouldn't have worked out very well with everything that has happened. You want to know, my mother's been saying the same thing. And the beauty part of it is that job is still open to me. I I am the type of person that usually burns bridges on jobs, and it's totally my fault. Usually my anxiety or something gets the best of me. But I didn't in this case. Thank the Lord. I'm hoping that I don't ever do that again. But that being said, it's still a possibility I might be able to go back up there, but probably not going to be till the summertime, because now they're talking about this whole coronavirus lasting into the summer. I don't want to freak anybody out here, but that's what they're saying right now. Interesting. I386 says the S9 cannot turn the volume up when on Bluetooth. The new update changed that. I cannot hear when I am driving. It's my dang ears. If I want to burst them, that's my business. But there are other issues also. I haven't had that problem. I have the S9 Plus, and I can turn the volume up when it's on Bluetooth. What you may want to try to do is do a hard reboot on your phone. On mine, I think it's the volume up and power button. You hold it at the same time for about 5-6 seconds, and it reboots the phone. But no issues like that on my end. Oh, Mark, no, not usually. Baxter and Milo like to be right against each other. But the beauty part is, according to the CDC and all the experts, they can't get this coronavirus, this novel coronavirus is what I should call it. So I guess they really don't have to. Lucky. Jeff goes, I can't believe you're able to find toilet paper and hand sanitizer in your area. It is nowhere to be found by me. Every store has a sign saying, please don't ask if we have toilet paper, etc. It's rare. As a matter of fact, I think I was lucky enough to get that one case of it. And that's all I'm really going to buy, because we do have enough now to last us probably about a month, and that's normal for us. We'll usually buy about a month's worth of toilet paper, mainly because we shop at BJ's. That being said, hand sanitizer, can't find it anywhere, nowhere to be found. Eric goes, people actually destroyed a Dollar Tree in my area today. They are, you can fill in the rest, animals. Fear gets the best of people, and fear and anger are like that. And I can attest that because I've been there myself in life before. People that would not normally act like animals will act like animals during these troubling times. People live on the edge in the best of times. Sometimes just takes that little tiny bit of coercion to push them over, and people just go insane. All right, awesome computers. Thanks for coming. I'll hopefully see you at the next live stream. Oh boy, folks, I am definitely running on empty tonight. Hopefully I get a good night's sleep. I've actually been having a little bit of insomnia lately, but I've had a few nights where I've actually slept really, really well. Oh, it's so cute. You guys got to see this. Check it out, folks. Look at Mr. Baxter. How about some likes for Mr. Baxter? See if I can get a little more light, shed a little more light on the situation. What you doing, buddy? What you doing, bud? You're so sweet. I almost don't want to disturb him. He's so happy. So if I can get us both in. He looks good, but this drowns my face out a little bit. I read that you can use cologne on your hands instead of hand sanitizer due to high alcohol content. I'd have to look that up. I would be skeptical if that's true or not. Eric's Ratty Channel. I took a delivery at work today and was across the street from the Dollar Tree and stopped in. Was told how they acted when they opened the doors. It is really sad. They broke a door and wrecked the shelves. That is sad. That is really sad that it's come to that. It doesn't surprise me, but yeah, I don't know what else to say. All right, everybody, I am ending it here. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. If you get a chance, give me another couple of thumbs ups because they definitely help the channel. Have a great night's sleep. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.